Coming up on the News 24 Late Report.
We are all getting ready for 1990 this weekend. From here in Middle Georgia to the Big Apple and around the world, we end the decade of the 80s.
The Macon police say Jerry Anderson is a major Middle Georgia drug dealer.
And the Macon police have him in bars tonight.
Despite FBI warnings to stay undercover, the politically active Miley brothers are speaking out on the bombing issue.
And Mike Shell has Christmas and New Year holiday high school tournament action.
Dan Schmidt outlines our New Year's weekend forecast.
On the Late Report.
Next.
This is the News 24 Late Report with Ron Wildman, Sonia Chavis, meteorologist Dan Schmidt, and Jeff Batcher on sports.
Good evening.
And Happy New Year. Local drug kingpin Jerry Anderson is behind bars tonight. Law authorities arrested him along with Alan Green.
The two are being charged with possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. News 24's Teresa Morgan reports tonight that his arrest, police say, is putting a major dent in drug operations here in Macon.
The members of the Macon Police Department.
Police Chief Jim Brooks says Jerry Anderson is the head of one of the biggest, if not the biggest, drug operations here in Macon. He says his arrest is a major success in halting the sale of crack cocaine.
I think it's going to do a substantial amount to see Mr. Anderson walking around handcuffed. I think that his presence is felt continually throughout all areas of our city and our county.
Jerry Anderson has been quite successful in eluding the law in the past. Chief Brooks says it was only with some very good information that authorities were able to make the arrest, and a raid on a Kent Drive address uncovered as yet an undetermined amount of cocaine.
Members of the Macon Police Department, in conjunction with the FBI, the IRS, ATF, and the Bibb County Sheriff's Office, took Mr. Anderson down and found in his possession a quantity of cocaine. At this time, that amount of cocaine is unknown because it has not been processed through the crime lab.
Jerry Anderson and Alan Green are both being charged with possession of cocaine with intent to distribute. Chief Brooks says the investigation is continuing to make sure enough evidence and charges are brought against them to keep them behind bars for a very long time. Teresa Morgan, News 24.
Well, another interesting lead has the Southland very cautious tonight as the group has finally claimed responsibility in the mail bombing incidents. We get this report on where the information originated.
Bomb murders of both federal appeals judge Robert Vance and Savannah attorney Robbie Robinson have now been linked through a letter to a local TV station to a group calling itself Americans for a Competent Federal Judicial System.
There's enough evidence both in the letter, the mailing that was received, and in the other items of evidence that have been secured in the various bombings and the devices and whatever, that we are confident that there is a connection.
The letter, said to have been received yesterday, says the killings of the judge and the attorney were reprisals for what happened to Julie Love, whose disappearance drew widespread attention in the Atlanta area. Her body was eventually discovered in August of this year. The letter also says that 2 more members of the NAACP will be killed as part of the same reprisal. And it threatens that if a black man rapes a white woman in Alabama, Florida, or Georgia, another federal judge, attorney, and officer of the NAACP will be assassinated. We're told the letter was received by WGXA TV anchor Brenda Wood, and that the letter specified that a portion be released to other news organizations.
Also, security here in Macon at the federal courthouse is very tight tonight. The NAACP has threatened people in this area, too. The group also claims they will kill 2 more NAACP officials, but it's not known where. And as of now, though, it said no one in Macon is asking for protection.
Ask for protection, but we have discussed with certain leaders in the community the need of precautions. We do not have any reasons to believe that any one of our people in the community is in a vulnerable position of any type of threat. Okay. We do not have any evidence of that. If it arrives to that, then certainly we're going to be concerned about it.
A bomb sensor device is ready for use. This in case the federal courthouse here in the U.S. Marshal's office receives any type of threat, and the security measures will not lessen in the courthouse.
Also tonight, many local black leaders are taking the advice of the FBI, Sheriff Wilkes, and others. The Bibb County NAACP office remained locked for most of the day, and word is getting out of how widespread the threats can be. But here in Macon office, holders Ronnie and Lonnie Miley are trying to get their message across.
I think that local NAACP officials, judges, and so forth should take it serious. But I don't think that we should be over precautious, because for many years, the ones of us that have been involved in the NAACP movement and the civil rights movement have lived with threats.
I think this is an attempt to get right-thinking individuals to stop thinking right. And unfortunately, there is a violent element, but I think that the threat should be taken serious, but then there is work to be done.
Their words, black leaders are taking precautions as more threats surface, and the Mileys tell us they'll do anything they can to help calm the black community.
Well, the New Year's almost here, and that means alcohol awareness should be on everyone's mind. News 24's Shannon Radney reports tonight how some clubs are handling the New Year's Eve on Sunday.
While we're all excited about the New Year's celebration, some of us are wondering just how clubs are handling the big night. Clubs like Flaming Sally's, who have a Sunday sales permit, won't be affected, and neither will Chasen's.
Here at the Holiday Inn, it will not affect us. We will be open in Chasen starting at 7 that evening and going till 2 in the morning.
But what about Lucy Cooper's, who doesn't have a Sunday sales permit? They will be brown bagging. Some clubs, like the Peacock Lounge, that don't have a Sunday liquor license, are uncertain of what they'll be doing New Year's Eve, or at least they have. An ordinance passed in 1978 states that with a sales permit, liquor, beer, or wine by the glass can be served from 7 p.m. Sunday to 2 a.m. New Year's Day. Brown bagging may go on from 7 p.m. Sunday night until 12:01 a.m. Monday. But whatever your plans are, have a designated driver if drinking, and happy holidays. I'm Shannon Radney reporting for News 24.
It's almost here, everybody.
And when we come back tonight, we'll be seeing one of the most spectacular fires ever videoed.
And Dan Schmidt puts his final touch on the New Year's forecast.
Back to the news tonight. Macon police are searching for 2 black males in a late model brown and silver BMW who robbed the Liberty Savings Bank on Pinona Avenue. Police say the 2 entered the bank armed and made off with an undisclosed amount of cash. One of the men is described as wearing green and black camouflage pants, a white shirt, and a black jacket. Meanwhile, police are also looking into a robbery that happened earlier this morning. A man entered the spur station off of Vineville Avenue, produced a revolver, and demanded money. The man who fled on foot is described as 6 feet tall, weighing 170 pounds, and was last seen wearing an army jacket. Any information is asked to be called into the Macon Police Department at 751-7500.
And 130,000 New Yorkers are without power tonight as the skyline of Gotham is lit up because of a major fire at the Con Edison substation. It caught flame, completely destroying the interior and exterior of the plant. New York firefighters were unable to contain the blaze for many hours because of the intensity of the flame. Several people were taken to nearby hospitals in New York City for burns and smoke inhalation. Figures of casualties still unknown as of news time. In Atlanta today, there's a 3-car accident at the intersection of Highway 316 and High Hope Road. A tanker truck carrying a chemical overturned, causing the collision. One of the other vehicles is a prison work detail van, and the other is a human resources van. In all, 23 passengers were carried to the Gwinnett Medical Center. Back here in Macon, it's a busy news evening. The Bibb Sheriff's Department and the Georgia Patrol say a Kentucky man survived when his vehicle flew off I-475.
All right, Dan, tell me what I can expect on my last weekend of the 80s.
Well, you can expect to get wet. Even though temperatures will remain mild across the mid-state, we will have quite a bit of shower activity, especially New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.